Christmas traditions?
I don't see how we could, considering this is your very first Christmas, but how about we start one?
Yay!
I have an idea. Let's read a Christmas book. Here's a good one. It's called How the Flurry Stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Flurry, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Flurry hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right, or could be perhaps that his fur was too tight, but I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Whatever the reason, his heart or his head, he sat there on Christmas Eve full of dread, staring down from his castle with a sour, flurry frown at the Christmas atmosphere that was all around. Then he growled with his flurry foot nervously drumming,
"I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming!"
For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and Who boys would wake up bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise! Oh the noise! Noise, noise, noise! Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Flurry thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Flurry thought,
"I must stop this whole thing! Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now! I must stop this Christmas from coming! But how?"
Then his dog Max walked into the room.
"Another miserable Christmas Eve, I see,"
he said with great gloom. But that wasn't all that Max had to say.
"We're out of coffee, Master, so we'll have none for Christmas Day."
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Flurry got a wonderful, awful idea.
"I know just what to do."
The Flurry laughed in his throat.
"When those Who's sing tomorrow, it'll be on a sour note."
And he chuckled and chuckled.
"Max, you must run to the store. Get some cups showing only the color red, and no more."
And with that, Max went and completed the task. But when he returned, of the plan he did ask.
"You see, every year for some stupid reason, the Who's coffee cups are covered with signs of the season. But this year, when they get up at sunrise, the cups will be plain red. Ha 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 ha! Surprise!"
And with that, the Flurry left without warning, to go and ruin all the Who's Christmas morning. With his little plan he was quite content, and this is how the start of his night went. And just as the Flurry was about to wrap things up, he heard a small sound, like the bark of a pup. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Callie Lou, who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tidy Who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. But you know that old Flurry was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
"Why, my sweet little tot,
The Flurry lied.
there's a hole in these cups on the one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then bring it back here."
Then he returned to his evil Flurry lair, and down upon Whoville he did stare.
"They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo."
And so he paused, and the Flurry put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. And wouldn't you know it, the sound was very sad. The Who's down in Whoville couldn't believe they'd been had.
"Where are my symbols? Why is my cup just red? My Christmas is ruined!"
they said with great dread. And believe it or not, the Flurry was quite surprised.
"That actually worked. I can't believe my eyes. How could they care about something so petty and small? They're complete idiots. It's just a stupid cup after all.
Then a new thought came to the Flurry, which made him quite numb.
What if celebrating Christmas only one way is actually dumb? After all, not everybody thinks the same exact way. So why don't I make Christmas my own unique day?
And then the Flurry yelled,
Max, come here and listen. Today we're starting our own Christmas tradition. Hooray!
Max yelled.
What's the first thing we're going to do?
The Flurry smiled and said,
Find some glue. We're going to make those antlers a permanent part of you.
That's the end? So the Who's just spent the rest of Christmas Day being miserable?
Well, Callie, that's what they deserve for being so insecure that they think it's worth it to spend a significant portion of their life complaining about a change that has no effect on them whatsoever.
Maybe we should let Mom handle the Christmas traditions from now on. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Merry Christmas!